What is really going on, darlings? Okay, so this is going to be a reading for Pisces, January mid-month, my loves. We're using my two favorite decks. These readings have been honestly great. And not to toot my own horn or anything, but just because these decks are really powerful. So we're going to do the archetype ones first, and then we'll go into my favorite Light Seas Tarot deck. Whoop, there we go. The Eternal Child. So this is also like your inner child, but the like I'm getting like the life force within you. The innocent life force within you. The Mirror in reverse. We're doing Pisces, the moon. The Crone. Now the Crone, this is a dope card. Okay, we do have so this is like a messenger, right? Birds are messenger spirits from, you know, the divine. This is the innate ability to connect, which Pisces, you do have that innate ability. I feel like before I get out the guidebook and kind of go through it, because honestly, the guidebook too is amazing. Interesting. We have the Shaman in reverse. Okay, so what I feel like is going on here is you do have a natural calling, natural ability, innate ability, with psychic powers could and mediumship as well. Side note, we all do, but you know, some just, it's on a spectrum like everything, right? So definitely Pisces, you know, more psychic. So also you could have experienced this as a child. And I was, you know, it's so funny that comes up because I was just thinking about that before the reading. This is why I love reading tarot. I was like thinking, I'm like, wow, you know, there was really glimpses even when I was really young. You know, just my workings with spirit. Like I was always connected to God. Everyone has a different backstory, and if you want to hear my backstory, I would love to share. But you know, you've had this knowing as a child. Now with the Mirror in reverse, let's do the child first. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay, so joyful, playful, accepts all magic. Yes. Okay, so also, you could have heavy alchemist energy. Even when you were younger, like making things like Matilda style, I'm hearing. Like making things happen without kind of realizing it. Not like Matilda style where she's like, you know, messes up the trunch bowl like that. You know what I mean? I mean, that's great. But like small things. Like when I was a kid, oh God, what was I thinking? I was like, oh, that like, I mean, like I used to predict stuff, but like, oh, I was connected, you know, I would go to church all the time. That's just how my parents were, you know. We were Episcopalian, we were not Catholic. But you know, Catholic, or you know, the whole church, you know, whatever. But I always had that connection and felt like I had the ability to connect as a child. And that's really what I'm thinking that this is coming from. The eternal child is connected to the timeless, ageless, and infinite aspects of life. It is radiant and fearless and seeks joy above all else at any cost. So, right, that could be detrimental for a adult, you know. The eternal child wants to nix all rules and responsibility and go beyond what others say is possible. That's why Pisces and like you have such a strong energy, because you know you have this inner calling. But you know, it's so weird because you have the crone and the eternal child, but you have the shaman and the mirror in reverse, and we're going to get to that. Okay, the eternal child, naturally popular, perhaps even famous. Wait, hold on. I messed that up. Where does it start? This is a huge run-on sentence. It reminds us that what is possible, what is magical about... It reminds us of what is possible and what is magical about this precious life. Also, again, when dark, addicted, selfish, adrift, and burns out. Yeah, it says the eternal child struggles with addictions of all varieties. You know, and that could be, again, to anything. Addicted to an actual substance, to work, to being a people pleaser, to, you know, it could be anything. But you gotta, you know, you have to keep those in check. So let's do the mirror and illuminate what's going on here. Okay, so in reverse, it means narcissism, comparison, and harsh edges. Okay, I'm smelling just a teensy tiny bit. Okay, and this isn't, okay, everyone, just like how I said everything is on a spectrum, so is narcissism, okay? There's healthy narcissism and there's malignant narcissism. And it's okay, to have some confidence and to, believe in yourself. Those are actually extremely important. But, there is a fine line. Now, it is because this is in the reverse. I'm getting more so of maybe lack of self-perception. Not necessarily narcissism, but we could all reflect on our behavior though, right? Like we could all make ourselves better every single day. The mirror is all about self-perception. When the archetype of the mirror appears, we are in the mythic land of Narcissus, who saw himself reflected in the pool and fell in love with his own image, so compelled by his reflection he could not turn away, a fixation. That eventually led to his death. Recognize the power and danger of the mirror. It is a construct, one that may drive a shard between you and your true self. The mirror contains trickster energy. Put the phone down, stop with the comparisons, and let the mirror stand empty for a while. Rest with the one inside. So this is really like a true calling to who you really are, to the core of yourself, right? Because you have the child here, but also these, when you are struggling with self-identity, I don't know if anyone here has, any mental illnesses. Listen, we all do, right? Because we are spirits trying to inhabit a human body, and it is a human experience. And there is, I'm not spiritual bypassing because, the human world is a hard world. But what I'm saying is, it is, especially with such a psychic, water sign, it is like the most psychic sign, struggling with that balance. And again, if you have this childlike energy, or if you have, okay, so I am not a doctor. I do have a psychology and a neuroscience degree, but I have a BA, okay? I'm not a doctor. So at least I know a little bit what I'm talking about is what I'm saying, right? So, everyone has, like mental illness is on a spectrum too, right? Like people could be more heavily, influenced by their genetics and their environment, and other people, may have it easier, whatever the case may be. But this is really struggling with the concept of self. So what I'm going to say, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but I'm just saying, it is extremely beneficial to talk to someone. I have seen a spiritual psychologist, which I think is the dopest thing in the world. Highly recommend. But you can talk to anyone, but honestly, guys, it is not a bad thing, and it is a sign of strength to do the self-reflection and to make yourself better. So that's what I'm going to say about that. And now, we're going to go on to the crone. There we go. Magic, clairvoyant, psychic, intuitive, and wise. See? Like it is, I feel like you're really struggling, and I feel like it could be could be outside forces, right? Kind of like denying your existence, denying this, gaslighting you, when in fact this is your reality. And I'm here to tell you that is valid, okay? And there are some things we can't explain in our world that we cannot quantify yet. And don't let other people interfere with your thoughts and belief systems, unless something is very toxic, okay? And I will get into that. But the belief in yourself, that's not toxic. It's all on the spectrum. Okay, let's see. The crone has seen it all. Nothing frightens or surprises her. She is the final manifestation in the feminine trifecta of the maiden mother crone. In her long life, she's witnessed endless cycles of deaths, SEX, failure, rebirth, conflict, regeneration, giving her the ability to rise above the world of duality. Yo, I love this is what I love reading, okay? Duality, that's exactly what we're talking about. And also, just like, again, when we pull out the tarot, I wouldn't be surprised if like temperance came out, or, you know, a card of balance and duality. She laughs at notions of good or bad or right or wrong. She has seen the earth turning, smoldering, taking life, and giving life. Yes, it's not good or bad, right or wrong. It's balance. It's the natural world, right? The crone energy accepts everything in, devouring beauty and suffering with the same mouth, using their energy to reveal hidden secrets and knowledge. Her energy resides in all of us. Yes, what did I say? We're all psychic. We're all from the same place. Though it is feared by most for its power and unconventional relationship with death and the macabre. Awakening the crone is dangerously rich and unapologetically magic. Yes, there's going to be a lot of naysayers. There's going to be a lot of people who are also scared of this, because people are scared of things that they do not understand, they cannot quantify, they cannot grasp. But when you've known it for so long and you know at your core this is what you believe, and you've done the work and you continue to do the work, you know, you got the source. You know, Pisces, you have the source. Now in the reverse, and it's not in the reverse, but I'm just going to say this is the light and dark side of everything. The duality of that nature is vindictive, bitter, isolated, and ostracized. And we talked about, you know, being on the receiving end of naysayers, people who do not support you, do not believe you, who will gaslight your experience, because they don't understand it. It doesn't mean it's not true. The crone is the master of letting go and residing in what is. She rejects nothing. The crone is often seen with the crow, smoke, night, the moon. I'm getting also Hecate. You could be into witchcraft. Dope. Same. And you could be connecting with deities. Just really kind of like really deepening your craft. Now, it's interesting though, because we do have the shaman in reverse. Okay, actually, I want to read this part, because when you start to get more into your authentic self, especially as someone who's clairvoyant or psychic or, you know, powerful in that realm, this is what happens. The crone has a difficult time tolerating superficial, petty, day-to-day musings. She moves away from such relationships and seeks a deeper path, even if this means a more solitary life. Yeah, you know, and I think you're really coming to this realization, like, you still have that childlike energy, and this could be people around you since your childhood, right? But, you know, a calling is a calling. Your path is your path, and no one can take that away from you. Let's do the shaman in reverse. Reverse. Here we go. Okay, so the shaman in reverse is overpromises, blames, hurts self and others. So while you're on this path, you know, no one is perfect, okay? And I really don't want to get into like the spiritual narcissism and stuff, but like everyone is spiritual. Everyone can connect. You know, we all have different reincarnations, different lifetimes. We are all different ages of souls, right? So to think that you're better than someone just because, you know, you are more connected, you know what I mean? You don't know their past lives. You know what I mean? You don't know. And also mind your business, okay? But listen, you know, it's okay to look at that self, check ourselves. It's okay to be wrong sometimes. It's okay. You know what I mean? Just keep moving forward and keep being better. So I'm going to read the shaman is activated by long-standing and diligent study. Okay. The mentor, second, its orientation is generously and accurately aimed towards the healing of the self. Yes. The other and culture, the healer. And third, the shaman has a knack for finding doorways to the other world, allowing another psychic visions and old magic to leak into this world. The unseen. This way, the shaman is a master who bridges the everyday and the sacred. You could be a bridge walker, which means you really like science as well. You really like psychology, the way people work, but you love astrology. You love, you know, all that stuff. And you like bridging the two, because listen, Einstein, Tesla, all those super smart people, the more spiritual you are, and the more science you know, the more spiritual you are, which is crazy. It's a really cool connection. Let's see. Revealing potent power needed desperately in our time. Yet where there is power, there is shadow. What did I say? You always have to look at your shadow self. So the shaman must be vigilant in studying their darkness. Absolutely. This card reminds us that the force of healing is ultimately not our own. We must shape it and share it with the world. So let's do this. The shaman can't be rushed working with this archetype. Working with this archetype requires study and perseverance. Yes. Think of it as brining or marinated. The content must, I can't fucking read today. I'm so sorry. Permeate every fiber of its being. Oh my God. Contrary to popular belief, the shaman archetype appears in every vocation. Teachers, directors, surgeons, politicians, and poets are just a few of the faces of a shaman may wear, right? So we're all at different stages, right? But it doesn't mean, we need doctors, we need teachers, you know what I mean? Like, just because you are spiritual, and do this doesn't mean someone else isn't, right? But I think the part that we must understand is we are all one. We all come from the same place. And part of this journey is to bring each other together, right? Kind of bringing us back to that. All right, 10 of Cups in reverse, 9 of Wands, 10 of Swords. Okay, so this may be disconnect in the family system, a family dynamic, something long-standing. But it's like, this is a warrior. You know what I mean? This is your last battle. I feel like last test before I heard blow up. You could maybe even have social media, or you could be working on a business. Whatever the case may be, this is like one of your last tests, one of your last things is to cut something off, or not cut something off, but to cut things off that no longer serve you, feels forced, does not give to you, is not reciprocal, and is not healthy for your growth, right? So anything of that nature, I think, listen, I'm getting more into astrology. I stayed up last night looking at my chart and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. I need to get more into this. If any astrologers out there know what's going on in the air, let us know. This card actually felt like this. So whenever I get it in the horizontal, it could go either way. So with the wheel, that is karmic lessons. That is a closing of a cycle and a new cycle. And also, remember we talked about balancing the light and the dark within us, the yin and the yang right here, right? And I think you're really working on that. And doing this will bring in a new chapter, but I think you're at the brink of that. Okay, Queen of Cups in reverse. I'm getting watch your self-love in this journey, and also what you give to others. And that's what you're doing. I'm sorry, I need my coffee. Who you put your energy into. 3 of Wands, how you plan for the future, moving forward, who's going to be in your life. Ace of Swords, you could be, this is you getting downloads. We have more crows, okay? Psychic downloads from your guides, from your angels, whoever you work with, no judgment. And this is, again, I just heard, and I love this line, the truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off, Oh, what did I say? What did I say? Knew the temperance would come out. And this is why I love tarot again. And then the Fool in reverse, and then Judgment. And this is interesting too, because Judgment has been popping up a lot for the readings. Yeah, so you're going to see what needs to be balanced, what to not move forward with. And you're really using your judgment. You're connecting with spirit heavy. You are releasing and letting go and saying, hey, I know, I'm not trying to spiritual bypass here, but let go, let God. You know what I mean? You got to trust this. You got to trust the process, right? Let's see. Hold on. High Priestess, that's so interesting. High Priestess in reverse. And I think you're doubting. Again, another card of psychic ability. I really do think you're doubting your psychic ability. You're heavily fucking psychic, whoever this person is. Again, we all are, but you're really heavily on that spectrum. So lean into that instead of leaning away, and learn as much as you can, but also work on your shadow side and understand that it is there to serve a purpose, but also acknowledge if it no longer serves the purpose. You know what I mean? Like, if you were, really defensive, does that still serve a purpose? Like, yes, it has in the past. Acknowledge how it has in the past, but move forward and say, hey, unfortunately, I'm no longer in this mind space. I mean, that's a good thing, fortunately. But that doesn't serve me anymore. So not looking at only your external, what serves you, but your internal. And I think that's really the balance here that is happening this mid-month. So listen, watch your shadow side. Scorpio? No, Capricorn. I always think it's Scorpio or Capricorn. But you could have that in your chart as well. But definitely watch your shadow side. Check yourself. And that's okay to do, right? We all make mistakes. As Hannah Montana says, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Everybody gets that way. So, listen, there are good things coming on the horizon. It's not for the faint of heart, this path, this journey, but for you, you fucking got this. You're almost there. Okay. And you're moving forward. You're going to get what you desire, but you gotta, it's also work too, So I hope this helped. And 21:21 on the clock. Can you do something for me? All right. Anyways, if you made it this far, hit all those buttons for your girl. And love y'all.